last 10 years or so of my life and how much has actually happened in the last decade. So this is what happens when I have a bit of free time outside of my otherwise hectic work life and social life, whatever that is, in addition to planning for the future. I blame the fact that someone posted online about how that shoes video is about 10 years old now. Beyond the fact that my high school graduating class is actually planning our 10-year reunion now, I will unfortunately be unable to attend. No offense guys, but Vancouver outweighs a walk down memory lane. Coming up on June this year, it'll be 10 years since I left Brookings High School, drove across town and spent an undisclosed amount of time going to college. You'll find out about that later. As most of you know, most of that time I spent outside of school was spent working at a very relatively popular food chain. It runs with Snapple trees. So I worked there for a total of about 8 years between 2 different locations on completely opposite ends of the spectrum in 2 completely different time zones. Luckily for my knees and wardrobe's sake, there's just certain smells you can't wash out of clothing after a certain while. Certain stains you can't get out of stuff, regardless of how many times you wash it. After a rather rough 2-month period, I finally found another job working for a wireless retailer. Same levels of stress, just different versions of it and much better pay. Plus I don't come home smelling like a grease trap every day. So, it's a win-win. Through a rather fumbling 7-year stint in college, I finally managed to acquire a Bachelor of Arts degree in music. This is about the time when I figured out when I'm left to my own devices, I'm not always the best student, and that really affected my whole experience while I was there. It's up to interpretation whether my experience was directly affected by my environment, or if it was all of my own doing, but as much as I loved music, that may not have been the best situation for me when I look back on it now. Outside of a life-threatening illness for a short period of time, I am the only one to blame for my poor performance. I got H1N1 and pneumonia, spent 4 days in the hospital thanks to 70% of my lungs being blocked from being able to breathe properly. Not fun. I did lose 28 pounds in 2 weeks, but I also couldn't make it up a flight of stairs. But I did make it through. I have the certificate to prove it, in addition to loads and loads of student loan debt. In the end, it was worth it, though I do wish I had been a better student. Of course, hindsight is always 20/20. Outside of work and school, I enjoyed what little free time I had with my closely knit group of friends. Whether I knew them from high school or if I met them online, these wonderful people shaped my life into something meaningful. Through a tragic loss of a classmate, my friends from South Dakota and I grew inseparable. As awful and tragic as it was to lose someone like that, it in the end pushed us all together to keep us closer. And as far as my online friends, I would later be introduced to these wonderful individuals I would have never had the chance to meet had it not been for an online chat community based around Lady Gaga of all people. Hi house chat, miss you guys. And of course, some of us have drifted apart over the years. Most of y'all at this point have either been married or have kids or are planning to get married or to have kids in the near future. Much love and congrats to you guys. And as some of you may know or have figured out, I'm actually engaged to be married as well. July 29th here in Connecticut, actually, just so you're aware. And this goes back to the original point of this video. Back in 2006 on this day, the 22nd of April, assuming I can finish editing and post this all together correctly, I was getting ready for my senior prom. I had a great time, as evidenced by the awful and embarrassing photos you could probably find on my Facebook page. Sweaty, greasy, awkward posing. After hours of sweaty and awkward dancing, my friends and I all headed over to the hotel that we had reserved for that night. Unfortunately, this junior class who was in charge of taking care of the after prom kind of dropped the ball in that one, so they planned some trip to a theme park somewhere, but it was like 8 hours away. Stupid. So on that night, my best friend Karin and I were hanging out, as we did occasionally when they could drag me out to socialize. I was kind of a hermit. So we got to talking for a long period of time, shared a lot of secrets, and that was actually the first night I ever came out to someone. She was the actual first person I told to, in person, out loud, that I was gay. I absolutely cherish the way that I was brought up and all the values I had instilled in me. But being openly gay was never something I thought I could be. I've been lucky though. My parents and family, whom I love very, very much, words cannot express how much. Among numerous things in my life, I have been so blessed to have such a caring and loving family. And not everybody can say that. So thank you guys. So to the extended family that may be seeing this or may have heard through the grapevine, I'm sorry I've been either guarded or secretive over the last few years. I know that's affected my relationship with many of you, and I apologize. There's just always been a part of me that's been afraid to change your opinion of me or have something that I am and can't change about myself affect how you interact with me. But I'm finally in a place and have such happiness in my life that I wish I could have shared for years. I know some of you have mentioned that you were upset that I didn't tell you directly, that you had to find out through a Facebook post. I'm sincerely sorry. I really, really didn't mean any harm, and I hope you understand. We still need to work out the invitations. It's a little late for the save the dates anyway at this point, and probably a little too early for the actual formal invitations, but they're coming. They're basically sitting in a box ready to be printed. Hopefully we'll be able to use all the invites that we can create, send them out to as many people, though I know with the actual ceremony only about less than 4 months away, only so many of you will be able to come. Congrats to Shane. I know you guys are actually getting married 2 weeks after we are, so much love to you guys. I wish I could be there as well. In our case, I hope that at the very least you guys can be here with us in spirit. I've honestly never been happier in my life, and I'm so happy that I get to share that. Finally, I have so much joy in my life. I have a wonderful home, a wonderful family, the best friends a person could ask for, and an amazing fiance who I get to share my life with. Someone I can't wait to call my husband. I can't wait to see all of you who do get to come, friends and family, and get to share this occasion with you. So for the rest of you who aren't family, to those of you who may be struggling with where you are right now for this or that reason, take a note from my story. If you would have told me what my life would become in 10 years, I would have laughed in your face. I've grown and opened myself to so much joy that I never thought I could experience, that I never thought I could have. And you can too. You just have to be strong, love yourself, and be open to what you're given. I took a huge risk to experience life elsewhere in the world, to be with someone I care for deeply. Just know that life is never going to be perfect. But it's still worth being a part of it all. Strive for more, work through your faults and cherish them, because those are what shape you into the best person you can be. Anyway, I'm glad that I can share this with you guys, for better or for worse. I am deeply humbled by the outstretched arms of love that I've been given when I didn't think I deserved it for the longest time. I doubt I will ever be able to express my full gratitude. Especially to those in the past who helped me even move across the country. Sorry for never making that video that I promised. So hopefully I can do more videos in the future, preferably less heavy. But who knows, maybe bring back these idiots. That is so rude. What? And all that, if you want. Again, much love. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. I was generally the one to blame for my poor performance.